said now, this had to be the one of the best episodes of Power Book 2. Guys, hey, thank you so much for joining me back on my channel. This is your boy EJ, and I'm here to go ahead and talk about Power Book 2 Ghost, Episode 4, The Prince. Baby, when I tell you we got subpoenas, people sleeping with people that we been knew they were sleeping with since episode 1. We got people that's beating up people in bloody posts. We found out somebody is gay. We see Tariq is macking on these ladies. And we see that the stuff done hit the fan, baby. So let's go ahead and get up into this review. All right, y'all. So like this episode, it was really good. Like, now we kind of seeing more of the other characters. Usually we kind of see more about, the Tasha character, but this episode we didn't get a lot of character development from Tasha. Looks like that she figured out that somebody is watching her, but she thinks it's the security guard. But baby, lo and behold, no, it's this white man that works basically for Monet's husband, and he's watching her. So as well, she's a little concerned about Tariq, and she wants him to get a gun because she knows that he's selling weight and everything else, and she wants him to protect himself. So she's already informed him that basically Ghost and Tommy, if they ever had to do a hit or anything, they had certain guns that was around the different places, and this one was at a laundromat. Tariq ends up getting it, but let's go ahead and talk about Tariq a little bit. So Tariq, of course, he has to get the money to Davis McQueen. And we see that it's kind of it's going in a nice direction, but we also see that he's giving them cash, and cash can be very suspicious when you are in a high stakes case and you're a college student. So where are you getting all this money from? So they said they would need wire transfer so they don't have any hiccups, because at this point Sax is trying to figure out how is Tariq paying for Tasha's bills, basically trying to build a bigger case. So we also see that Tariq has came up with a way basically to get in the drug game with Monet, basically using this app to basically hide it as him tutoring people or sending packets around. In those packets, it has different type of different type of, it has marijuana or different type of ecstasy pills or different type of pills like that, wherever the college kids are into. So it's an app that they use, and if they want to use math, social studies, science, geography, etc., they can just pick that, and basically they match it up with whatever drug of choice. Basically what happens. So it's really a smart thing. And we also see that he also goes to Howard Stern's he goes to Stern, but he's a little shocked because he thought he was going to talk to Stern, but he ends up talking to his husband. His husband is actually very, very young. So I'm like, he must like him young. Ooh, girl, he must like him a little young. Okay. But anyway, so it looks like that this the son is actually, well, not the son, the husband is, I guess he's with the shits, y'all. He's really with it, because him and Tyree come up with this plan basically to, make, like I said, make the app. And I think he wanted 15% at first, but no, Tariq said he'd do 5%. But it looks like, turns out, so since Tariq had to get those wire transfer, it had turned that 5% to 15%. And now Tariq has to figure out if he's going to still, basically keep the money up, because Monet said he has to get the money up front. He was like, don't come up short. That's basically that's on him. So that's really what's going on. So like I said, so we also see Tariq going on with Diana, and we also see him going with Lauren. And in this episode, we also see that Lauren has a boyfriend that's in Washington, but ends up doing a little pop-up after Lauren done kissed Tariq. But now it looks like, I don't think Lauren like that boy. I just think that that's a good fit for her mother, basically. We also see that Lauren mama is kind of I'd rather be a bitch, because that's what you gonna call me when I'm tripping anyway. That's basically, like, she's real snooty, like, and we also see that Lauren has a lot of issues. Her brother was under a lot of stress, and he started taking them anxiety medications, and then he started taking different type of medications, and now he's in a facility, and Lauren doesn't want to do it. We also see that it's a fellowship going on here, and you remember fellowship was what they said in the beginning, and that that is the one chance for any Stanfield student who wants in the canonical studies. If they do want to use that, they can graduate in 3 years instead of doing the 4 years. And you already know Tariq wants to do 3 years because he can go ahead and get the money quick enough for his family. So that's fine. We also see, oh, I'm gonna save the juicy part for the last part, but we also see that the whole thing with the actual minority liaison and basically the other teacher for Tariq, of course they are sleeping together, but then we seen last episode that he was actually having sex with one of his grad students while she was actually over there in her office. She of course knows. They all go to Lauren's house for dinner. It is real awkward. They was doing real nasty jabs at each other. Like she said, his book, he came out with a second book, and it was basically wasn't worth nobody reading because it was there and it was gone. And that stuff took me out, okay? So they end up getting back to the actual hotel. They end up getting back to the actual the school, and she's end up confronting him about basically what happened. And he's like, well, you want to play with me? Like one day you want to be with me, next day you really don't. And they end up having sex. Okay, so let's get on dirty sex, Blanca, Councilman Tate. Now, okay, so here we go. We actually are getting to some of those people where we see that it's basically Davis McQueen wants to get Sachs taken off the case. And you already know this is power. It's going to take a lot to get Sachs off the case. So he ends up getting the people that he know that Sachs can manipulate. So, in the beginning, Blanca said that she wants to be on trial. But Blanca, what you didn't understand, honey, is that you had a hand in some of that as well. If you knew that he was over here trying to coerce Dave, if you knew he was trying to coerce Councilman Tate, but you still took the sign affidavit, then you did coerce Dre into basically, lying on the stage about Ghost as well, about his whereabouts. You did it. So technically everybody that is not in Tasha's position has done things except for Tasha. I don't know why a lot of people don't understand. I'm like, Tasha has not done anything. Okay, of course she had killed Keisha, but that was it. Like really, that was the one big thing that Tasha did. I'm like, nothing else did really Tasha didn't do. But back to that, so we also see that it was really going good on David's side until it got over there to Sax, and Sax was gonna eat her up. So basically, her stuff was she blew her own stuff up because you was dirty with him. Then we end up getting Councilman Terry. He gets subpoena, but we already knew that he's in politics, and the political people are going to hold him at a needle, that he cannot say anything. Even though that he lied, they gave him a bullcrap story to tell on the actual stand. So technically he's perjuring himself on the stand if that does come back out that he actually lied. And, he basically lied and said that, Tasha threatened him and all of that and, this and that. And I'm just like, see, And Davis McQueen was like, you a line, line A-N word. But, I can't say that on YouTube, but y'all know what I'm talking about. Comment down below if you know what that is. But he basically says all of that, and that kind of is basically what kind of happened with that. So we also see that Paula ends up coming to Tariq because she tells Tariq that, hey, you giving us this money in cash is really not looking that really good for us. It's a high stakes case, and people can be looking into how you actually getting the money. You're a teen, and how are you getting all this money? Of course, you don't have any money like that, but you still have and I know, girl, I'm sorry. I was watching it, and I'm trying to make sure you guys get my fresh reaction while it's still fresh in my mind. But she was basically saying, well, you need to figure out a way to get a wire transfer to us because we don't want any kind of hiccups with, basically getting the money. So he ends up lying and said that he basically was stealing the money from his grandmother, and, she didn't believe, but she ended up seeing that gun inside of his bag, okay? So that kind of happens. So if we want to talk about Paula a little bit so we can get her out of the way. So Paula is sleeping with Davis McQueen. I felt that anyway when he had ended up when she first came on the scene, I was like, it's real chemistry there. It's giving me real Angela and Ghost vibes. And I don't know if anybody catches that, but baby, that sex scene between Paula and Davis McQueen. Ooh, wee. Yes, Lord. I was here for it. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Power. I'm talking about Power season 1, season 2 sex scenes, baby, and that was it. Okay, that was the best part of the episode for me. But anyway, so we also see that Davis is married. Okay, he is. I forgot. I think like Mildred or Marjorie, one of them. It's some with an M. But she was like, "Oh well, make sure you put your ring on. You know what you call one like that, because I wouldn't." It's got a little, it's like a little touching because, he kind of feel bad, but I feel like he's married and they basically have sex on the side because they like each other, but. That's kind of what it is. The shit, I'm getting wire transfer. But let's really get into the nitty gritty. Let's talk about Monet coming. Like, okay, Monet, she has a hard time trusting Tariq, but you see that now she is kind of trusting him because she's seeing if he can handle his own stuff, he doesn't get caught up. Ooh, before I begin there, we gonna talk about trifling sex and how he ends up sitting his knees to try to spy on Tariq. Tariq is smarter though, because Tariq already peeped that something was going on, so he ended up moving and basically causing a whole commotion that basically so Braden can get into a fight with some other competition on basically on with the other competition to basically they fight and basically because since Braden is top dog, basically his family holds weight at the actual Stanfield, he was gonna get suspended, and that's exactly what happened. He ends up getting suspended. Yeah. But not Braden. Braden didn't get suspended. And basically, the man that was selling the actual drugs ended up getting suspended. And once he ended up getting suspended, he ends up basically he's gone basically. And so that kind of threw the girl off. But she ends up getting a picture of Tariq sending this to Sax. We also see that so that's gonna be another thing. They need to bring that out because Sax needs to go. Sax needs to be in somebody's prison. He needs to be in jail instead of Tasha. I don't understand how Sax is not in jail yet. But okay, so look, this is when the real nitty gritty. I was waiting for this part, okay? So now we get Monet. Monet is kind of really look, okay, so we pick up with Monet and we pick up with ooh, I forgot. I really forgot what his character's name. I think about it all the time, but I really forget it. But the son, the wild one, basically. And oh, I'm sorry. Okay, so his name is Kane. So Monet and Kane are basically going there to talk to the, basically the internet thugs that, they're in, business with. And basically they basically saying that, we cut your product. And basically what happened is he ended up calling her a puta. And we looking like, what? So she was like, say it to my face. And baby, I thought he wasn't gonna say it. I thought he was gonna punk out. But I guess he felt a little froggy. So he ended up saying, as soon as he had said poop, baby, Kane had ended up beating the bricks off of that boy, I'm telling you. And that's what Monet like. Monet said, yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Monet was just like, you know what? This is why you pay your position, baby. And that's what happened. And okay, so now we go back to the house and we see Monet, Kane, Diana, and Drew. And basically they're in there talking and, they go through the whole thing and basically like mama should have kept well, I guess my Diana was like, well, they had to go, they were tripping. Drew was like, we should have kept them, basically the money, and Kane just dramatic. He wasn't here for he didn't want to beat the brakes off the boy anyway. So Monet come in, she was like, yeah, I can hear y'all, right? And so basically she ended up sending she ended up sending Drew to the actual school, but Drew was like, why you just don't send Diana? She didn't want to go anyway, basically implying that Diana has a crush on Tariq, and that's the reason that she's just in her because she basically can flirt with Tariq to get the answers that she need. But she ends up saying no. She ends up sending Drew because Drew, basically their dad wants Drew to take over the whole entire business. I don't know if the daddy know that Drew is gay. So that's going to be an issue. I don't know. Maybe he does and he just don't say anything, but maybe that's the reason why he wants to take over. It's giving me real Empire vibes. I don't know if nobody else is noticing this, but it's giving me real Empire vibes. But So Drew ended up going to see Tariq, but you already know Tariq is real smart. Like people need to start taking Tariq serious. Tariq is very smart. He already knew that basically because Drew doesn't come to the school, so he already knew that Monet had sent Drew to basically make sure Tariq wasn't doing this and that, and basically trying to keep him on his toes. So Monet sent him here. Then I'm going to this art class where we see that Drew is gay. We also see that he likes boys because it's his basketball player. Of course, Tariq is in class, so he has to send that specific seat. So the basketball player said, have a partner, you can be my partner, this dark skinned basketball player. And then, basically then Drew ends up drawing him because the basketball player says he can't draw. And, they connect on that. And, basically he was like, "What can I follow you on Instagram?" Drew was like his apartment account. And he ends up still giving him his phone. They end up going back to the actual his dorm room. He had said, "Man, you get all this for being a basketball player?" He said, "No, this is because I get straight A's. I'm an honor student, basically." And he ends up taking his shirt off, basically saying, "Well, maybe I can have you draw my next tattoo." Then he ends up looking at his tattoos and everything. He had 24. He wants to be like Kobe. Rest in peace, Kobe Bryant. We also see that he has like a championship basketball trophy, and he was like, "Well, hope you keep winning, because if not, you're gonna have to get this covered up." And this is when Drew and the basketball player starts to kiss, and we like, "Oh, okay." But I peeped that in the beginning. I was just like, something is off with Drew. I said it has to be something with Drew. Something has got to be there. But we see that actually happen. So we at the point where Tariq needs more product because the app is blowing up like crazy. These people want these products, and Brayden actually calls Tariq and basically saying, "Hey, bro, we need more product because it's basically high demand and we need it." So he's calling Drew, but Drew is currently disposed at the moment. So he ends up calling Diana to basically get some more product. Of course, you already. I'm sorry, Diana had ended up getting her phone taken away by Monet because of basically her using the burner phone and basically her calling her dad behind Monet's back and her having a separate burner phone from the family burner phone. And Monet wasn't technically having that, so she ended up taking her actual phone. And while Drew ended up calling, she told her to put on speakerphone. We see Drew ends up telling her that he's not with her. Let him Monet know something is going on, and she ends up sending Diana. By default, Diana and Tariq end up having that nice little kiss, and y'all see that picture in the front. So yes, they end up having that nice little kiss, and I really like them together. I really like them together more than him and Paige. I feel like that's gonna be the main love triangle in the season. Who he's gonna pick. I hope he ends up going with Diana because I do kind of see that connection a little bit more there than more of Paige. I feel like him and Paige are more of a friendship kind of situation going on. It's kind of a new thing I think Tyreek is more of a escape for Paige. See, I'm saying her real name. I'm sorry, for Lauren. He's more of an escape, while Diana is more of he actually connects with her more, I feel like, on a connection level more than he does with Lauren. But anyway, so they ends up she ended up bringing in actual products, so he ends up getting all of that thing out. And like I said earlier in the review, when you get to the party, or another rival person is there. Tariq ended up getting rid of them, basically getting them suspended. And now he's out of school, so now Tariq and Brady can basically take over the drug game. And okay, so here's the best part, and it should have been at the beginning anyway. So basically, after Davis and Paula end up having sex, she was like, "Well, we need to figure out basically a way to get sex off the stand." And what's the one person that he can't manipulate? Tamika. Tamika does not lie. She does everything by the book, and she can't be coerced because she's not in politics. She's not in politics. She's not basically sanctioned to be there. Like, if she knew this was a fraudulent case, if she knew it was a fraudulent, I can't say that word, y'all. Basically, if it was a fraud case, basically, she would already got Tasha off. But I think Tamika is still kind of actually upset that Tasha ended up firing her, but she doesn't know why she ended up firing her. She knows because Tasha is trying to protect her son. So basically, Davis ended up sending flowers to her extra house, where it's basically a man basically subpoenaed her. Now she has a subpoena to go into court and basically talk about sex, and they know that sex cannot actually coerce Tamika. So that's gonna be another thing. So that was yeah, that was basically the end of the episode. Thank you so much for watching my review. Hope you like, comment, and share this video. If you care, make sure you comment down below. Let me tell you, tell me how you guys felt about this episode and what you think. In the next episode will actually be going on. It is your boy EJ, and thank you so much for watching my video. Peace. See you guys in another video.